Welcome along to the Digital Landlord with Property Tribes and Move Bubble, and once again I'm joined by Logan. And Logan, we're going to talk a little bit more generally now about the benefits of digital technology for landlords, and I think some of the obvious ones are efficiency, time saving, transparency, and having trust within a known community. What are your thoughts on the benefits?
Yeah, so again, throughout history, we've had sort of social innovation with things like the Magna Carta. We've had technological innovation with the internet, and I think kind of now where we're at is this kind of the ability to produce technical products incredibly quickly means that there's an enormous number of property technology businesses coming into the space. Prop tech, as is the cool slang.
Prop tech.
Yeah, it's that's what we will call it over here. But I think what it does is for those landlords out there, it offers an enormous opportunity to save time, right? And ultimately, if you can save time and spend more time with your family and your loved ones, skydiving if that's what you want to do, brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. So I think really where we're moving is let's move away from paper, let's move away from Excel spreadsheets, and let's look at products that can help us as landlords manage the property. And we can run through a couple here. I mean, Fixflo is a good example of a sort of a property maintenance reporting software for block managers and people that manage properties. That is an amazing piece of kit. I know it's doing incredibly well. And what it does is it streamlines that reporting process for you. So that for me is definitely one place to start.
Indeed, and I think also if we take an example of, say, Imfuna, which is the digital inventory app,
Absolutely.
Much like Fixflo, it actually creates an audit trail that's completely transparent and completely bulletproof. And, in these days of, rising legislation and harsh penalties for non-compliance, these kind of tools can actually reduce your risk.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about protection, isn't it, at the end of the day? And, companies like Imfuna that give you a concrete audit, it means you're covering your own back. Why wouldn't you do it? You're absolutely right that legislation is getting more intense in the private rental sector. There are people calling for even more legislation in the private rental sector. It's not something you can get wrong, and especially seeing as a lot of landlords out there are accidental. I think you told me some crazy statistic that a significant number of landlords still don't even know about registering your deposit. So I think kind of legal compliance is something that everybody has to look at, and it's great to hear companies like Imfuna producing these audits that you can effectively waive in a court of law and say, look, we did what we had to do. So I think technology is definitely a place where landlords can look to reduce their risk and ultimately save time and money. That's what it's there for.
Indeed. And you've got a couple of other favourite apps that you wanted to mention, haven't you?
Yeah, I could talk on this all day, and thankfully we'll probably cover most of these companies over the next couple of months. But I used to work within the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, or HVAC industry. It sounds cooler than it was. But we were kind of involved with wireless control technology specifically for heating. And now, you've got great companies like Hive, or great products like Hive, and great companies like Nest coming to the forefront where home automation is becoming incredibly important. And I suppose the question is, can landlords leverage these services, these products, specifically in HMOs, perhaps, where bills are included normally? Could you limit the heating to 19 degrees centigrade, not 20 degrees centigrade? Okay, you might be 1 degree cooler, it means you can put on a jumper as a renter, but what it means is that your bills are considerably lower. I think they say something like 10% per degree that you turn up your heating, which is a lot of money, right?
It is.
So I think that there's, that's definitely an area where landlords can look to take control of their heating and effectively take control of their expenses. So yeah, that's definitely one of my. I'm a bit of an energy efficiency buff, so you'll have to excuse my lean towards that.
Well, it's just so important, Logan, because by 2018, unless your rental property meets certain energy efficiency requirements, if it doesn't meet them, you actually won't be able to rent your property out anymore. So I think it's really good that these apps are coming in to help landlords be more efficient. And Yeah, I think that's a good point to end. We're going to carry on with Logan in some more Digital Landlord videos coming up, and we'll be looking at more features of Move Bubble, and we'll also be discussing some other tech products of interest to the Digital Landlord. So stay tuned for more.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot.